Okay. We're going to go to our second film of the day. And I hope that, I don't know how many of you are staying over tomorrow. We have our film Nell, then we have a film Motel Life, and then tonight we have Ramin Barani's movie 99 Homes. And in the morning, for our closing, you know, Sunday we do a movie music kind of film, and we have Seymour, an introduction, a film by Ethan Hawke, and we're going to have a master class on stage with the subject of the movie, Seymour Bernstein. So that's really special tomorrow. And we also have the person who actually put Ethan Hawke and Seymour Bernstein together, Andrew Harvey, joining us. So that's special tomorrow. Actually, I think I see Andrew right back there. Will you stand and give us a wave, please? Thank you. But right now, before we do our next introduction, I want to bring out someone who I'm kind of tripping over my words because I'm so sad that after 14 years, Mary Susan is leaving Ebertfest and going to Louisiana, but I want you to I just want her to come out and just give her some love.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. You know, I said a few words the other night, and I'll say a few more tomorrow, but I just want to introduce my mother. She's in the back. Paula Roast is here, my mother, right back there. She came for my last festival, so very excited. Okay, thank you, thank you. Thank you. You know how I am.
She's a woman of few words, but they all are so powerful. There's one other bit of business that I want to do because it's really in the spirit of what this festival is all about. And it's an incident that happened the other night. And, you know, a few people brought it up. There was I can't remember which movie it was, but there was a Q&A afterwards. And there was a man sitting near the front. And he didn't have the microphone, and I couldn't hear what he was saying, and he was speaking, and we said, you know, talking to the mic, and what I didn't know is some people were saying, no, don't. We don't want to hear what he has to say. And what he was actually saying is that he had been depressed and, you know, had some thoughts of suicide at one time, and he was saying something about why he comes to the festival, how this community of people at the festival make him feel, and also something about how the movie helped him, and he was thanking that filmmaker. And excuse me, I didn't know I was going to cry when I said this. If you're here, we are so deeply sorry. Because that's not what this festival is all about, and that's not what we are all about here. And I think that some other people reached out to him, and I hope they did. And if any of you ever you're here, and if we ever do anything that really offends you, or if you ever feel really isolated, just reach out to us and let us know. We can't do everything, but we can do what we can. Thank you. Now you are in for a profoundly beautiful movie, luscious to look at on the screen, and a beautiful person who's going to introduce it, someone who I have a lot of respect for. Nell Minow is a film critic. She has the Movie Mom website, and I think that's, and also BeliefNet. She writes for RogerEbert.com, Huffington Post, and a lot of other places. I'm always so happy when she's here because Nell, in addition to being a film critic, is a pretty high-powered lawyer who does stuff with corporate governance. And she's just, I also know her mother and her father. Her father was, Newton Minow, who called TV a vast wasteland 50 years ago. And her mother, Jo, we served on the board of the Abraham Lincoln Library together. And her family, a very accomplished family, and they are all so kind and generous. And so I'm very happy to introduce Nell Minow.
Chaz is the only person who introduces me by talking about my parents. It makes me feel like I'm about 10 years old. I have to tell you, since she brought up my dad, there's actually a new documentary coming out about him, and maybe we'll have that at Ebertfest sometime. And what our family is really proud of is that the sinking ship on Gilligan's Island was named after him, the SS Minow. I was fortunate enough to be interviewed by WILL about Ebertfest, and I had a chance to say something that I want to share with you, which is that once a year I get to come to visit one of my favorite places on earth, the town of Ebertville. The thing that I love most is the movies are wonderful, but it's the people who are really wonderful. And every year we come together in this fabulous community. Those of you who don't go to other festivals don't know how much time you spend at other festivals either racing to get from one movie to another or feeling horribly bitter that somebody went to a better movie than you did. And that we all share the movies together and talk about them together is such a gift and so wonderful. And I want to thank all of you for making that possible, so thank you. I especially want to thank whoever it was who asked the question about Wild Tales of what movie could possibly be better than this one to win the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Feature. Well, we are here to deliver that movie right now. The movie is Ida. In English we would say Ida, but they pronounce it, as you'll see, Ida. And we're going to have a lot of things to say about it afterward, but I just want to say one thing about it before. Or maybe two. I'll tell you one thing is that this is a Polish film. It's the first Polish film to win the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film. But the author is not exactly Polish. This is his first Polish film. He was born in Poland, and he says that he tried to recreate the Poland of his childhood here in the 1960s where this movie is set. But his other films are in English because he grew up in the UK. And so he brings an outsider's perspective as well as an insider's perspective to this story. The other thing I want to say about it is that if you think about all the movies that you've seen and all of the books that you've ever read, I think you will agree with me that the single most popular, the single most frequent plot in movies is the road movie, where you have people who don't know each other or who are very different in some way, don't like each other, don't get along. They have to go someplace together. And so this is a very classic movie in that way. It's a road movie with two people who don't know each other and couldn't be more different, and yet whose lives are parallel and who even sort of cross over that line to try out each other's personas in a way. It's a very brief film. It's under 90 minutes. It's called Ida, and I look forward to discussing it with you afterward. Thank you.